Welcome to the Wilshire Gun Podcast.
Well. It's already October. Halloween, right around the corner. Scary stuff. So, throw that out prematurely, I guess. I hope everybody has a safe Halloween if you're taking kids out. Hope they have fun. Hope your costumes are cool or, revealing, depending on what...
Man, that could be spooky.
what kind of demographic you fit in. Other than that, let's jump right into it. Not a super long one today. We're not going to get into anybody's pants today. I'm going to try to keep this one a little bit short and concise, but it is a lot of information coming at you very quickly. So, first off, training stuff, pretty run-of-the-mill. Those guys that are coming to training, thank you. Those guys that haven't tried training, check it out, wilshiregun.com/training. Lots of classes up there. The other one I want to talk about is Mike is running like a special edition, both two-gun and EDC match. So he's got some targets ordered up that are kind of to the theme. It's going to be, I think, low light or no light kind of stuff. So it's going to be Halloween based. It'll be a fun one. This is the one you don't want to miss. And if this is the one that, your first one, it may set your expectations a little too high. It's going to be a good one. So definitely check those out. Those are on the first and third Wednesday, those two matches. There's a rimfire in between. I'm not sure what he has planned for that one. But it's a good time, too, if you want to just come shoot 22. Okay. So let's talk about October deals we got going. Aaron, who you guys met last month, has got a pretty good slate of deals coming for this month, right? So we got a list over here, right?
These are on top of the sales wall. That's opposite of the rates check-in. All that stuff over there is marked off, basically half off.
Yeah.
Of what it was originally.
So these are just for the month of October. These are not. These are
in addition to all the clearance stuff we have down there already.
10% rimfire, hunting, and hollow points. So you're gonna get ammo on discount.
That doesn't happen very often.
It really doesn't, especially in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So good deal there. They got some rimfire rifles on sale. Looks like 10%. Some shotguns on sale. A couple packages on here too. So there's a Walther PDP bundle. I was reading this before we started filming. That is pretty good. So basically the PDP bundle works is the more stuff you purchase in the package, at one time, the bigger the discount's going to be.
Yeah.
And so it's like a additive.
Yeah, the more you buy, the more you save.
Right. So you're going to get
basically you get gun at a sale, gun and holster is bigger, gun holster light's bigger, gun holster light, optic, ammo, extra magazines. Basically, the more you buy, the more you save.
Right. And so that's actually a pretty interesting one. And the PDP is really it's kind of slept on. Like it came out.
It's got a really good optic system.
Yeah. A lot of people, I say a lot of people, several people bought them when they very first came out. And I really haven't heard any issues or anything like that. I've never, owned one or anything. I wish I had one right here to show you guys. But those are pretty cool. The other thing they're doing for October is a business card draw. So if you come by and you have a business card, there will be a bucket somewhere probably down there at the front. Drop your business card in. It's your standard, just show up. You're going to win somebody's going to win a Pelican case for October. So there's a couple reasons to come to the store. I got a whole list of them here. We didn't go through all of them. Got to leave some mystery, right?
Yeah.
These are stacked around the store, so if you come in, you can find them.
Yeah.
The October sales, but they are pretty decent deals, which be a good time. What we got? We don't have anything old today, right?
We do have something new, kind of spooky. So, at first glance, this looks like a Wilson Combat, right? But it is actually not. This is a Tisas. This is one of their 9mm, carry guns. Looks like a Wilson Combat. Doesn't feel quite like one, but it's an awfully nice, awfully tight 1911. They're imported. So if you have your eyes on a Wilson or like the Marine Corps M4A1s, these are an awfully good second, and they're quite a bit cheaper. So that one's $630, and this one is $570. So you're basically saving
the Raider
$800-ish on each of them.
This is that one that Marsoc, right? Yeah. They were running around with, or are they still running around with them?
I guess so. I don't know.
The M45.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, I mean, it's a spitting image of it.
Yeah, it is.
We've sold Tisas intermittently, and I've seen more than a handful of these on the range, and they are an imported 1911, but that doesn't mean they're a lesser 1911. They perform just as well as any of the other.
They feel pretty
ones.
Decent. I'm sure some 1911 guy would come in here and be like,
Yeah, some fud's gonna turn his nose up at him, but this isn't for those guys. This is for the poor kids like me who still want to play.
Right. Which these are. I mean, yeah. Looking at this, it's pretty well made.
Mm-hmm.
Finish on is pretty decent. Let's pull that trigger.
And just like any new gun, they'll break in nicely. They've already come in factory with a pretty solid trigger. Safeties feel great. Yeah, it's a good entry-level 1911 if you want to test the waters. And they look like the cool ones.
Right, they look like the ones everybody wants to get. I don't know if you guys saw that on there. There's my something old. The TLR VIR.
Yep.
So these, a lot of people don't realize we have these, or they miss them because it's small object.
Yeah, it looks like a TLR1.
Right.
Basically.
So it's a followed TR1 pattern, but it has an IR setting, and it has is this the one with the laser?
Yeah.
And then it has the visible IR laser for those guys that run around with nods. So if you were looking, if you guys remember like the old Tom Clancy games or whatever, the USPs, or not the USPs.
Mark 23s?
They had that aiming module, the pistol aiming module or whatever, that made by Steiner, that big goofy, it was huge. But they did the same thing. They had a white light, an IR light, and an aiming laser for a pistol. This is basically that, but modernized.
Yep.
It's not gigantic. It fits in, I'm pretty sure it fits in a TLR1 holster. Got those same paddle switches, so momentary.
And these are on sale too.
Okay. So they're on sale. Even
Pistols
better.
are new, that light is on sale.
Yeah. So that's, plus, if you come in and buy one of the operators, or the Raiders, not the operator, it's a Raider, it looks pretty good on there, actually. It matches up color-wise. It's full-size gun, full-size light. There's something to be said about that. So, yeah, come check them out. They're new, imported through Tennessee, so pretty solid little 1911s. Those guys that want to get into a 1911 frame.
And who knows, you might not even like them. They're a little bit easier on the wallet than a Wilson or one of the Colts.
Yeah.
But this is another gun masquerading as its big brother. This is the AP5 from Century. This is what is this, like a 9-inch barrel, 10-inch barrel, something?
Something like that.
Just above average. But this is one of the pistols, thanks to the ATF's pistol ban. You got to SBR this guy, and I think that's why it's still hanging out, but it's on a pretty good sale. Would I have it at $1,700? So you're saving $400, $500. So that's the cost of a stock and a tax stamp. Plus you got the cool muzzle device. So you got your tri-lug, plus your half by 28. So you can put basically any sort of pistol suppressor on there. And plus you got your muzzle device. If I get that back on there. I look like an idiot.
There it goes.
So, yeah, and you get to fucking slap it.
HK slap.
You can't slap your wife, but you can slap that.
Yeah, a lot of guys come in here and look at those and, what is that? Is that an MP5?
Pretty fucking close. So from what I can understand, These are made on old HK tooling.
Right.
So might not be as tight or, have the finish quality of HK, but it'll perform, probably 80, 90% there. And if you want those two fancy red letters, you're not gonna look at that.
Right. Yeah.
The Century.
You're better than us. We know it. But yeah, come check them out. There's a couple different variants of these AP5 series down there.
Yeah, we have a K down there, the super short one. Mm-hmm. I like this one the best.
But yeah, if you're a baller on a budget, it's a good option.
It looks the part.
It'll play the part. Cut in, take two, guys, because Gavyn's a child. But this is future me. I'm cutting in with past me because I forgot the most important thing that's happening in October. We got all excited, at our last segment, and totally forgot to tell you guys. October 21st, Huxwrx, Dead Air, and Silencer Co. are going to be here on site, and they're bringing demo cans. There's going to be deals. It's going to be fun. So if you've ever looked at getting into a silencer, or you already have silencers and want to look at getting in more, don't know, want to try, that's the day to do it, guys. Big dealer event. Like I said, 3 different dealers going to be here. It's going to be a good time, I promise. So come check us out, October 21st. Silencer, bonanza, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. That's stupid. Huxwrx, Silencer Co., Dead Air, all here, October 21st. Make sure you're here. Come hang out with us. Now back to wherever he cut me into this. So, all right, guys, a little bit shorter today, deal-wise, all that other stuff. Like I said, we weren't really getting into.
Just wait until November.
What's in your pants?
Just wait until November.
I'm going to drop something on Gavyn here that's kind of a surprise. He didn't know this was coming, but I'm going to hit him with it anyway. So Gavyn has moved on. Gavyn is kind of a ghost. This will be Gavyn's last podcast, guys. He's moving on to bigger, better things with his school and other stuff like that. And we're excited for him to, go out and change the world or whatever he ends up doing. But we're going to move to kind of more of a traditional podcast segment, I guess. It'll be more of a conversation than really, me trying to sell you something or showing something off or anything like that. A lot of you guys that have come in over the years have probably seen Gavyn in various roles in various places around the store. The range, retail, he's been here. He is, as of right now, probably the fourth oldest employee.
Something like that.
I mean, he's been here a long time. And I know a lot of you guys that have come in over time or, have seen him. And so I was going to ask him just a series of questions. And I think it would be kind of fun as a time capsule kind of deal because, like I said, a lot of the guys down here are newer. And they don't remember some of the stuff that maybe you guys do, that we certainly do. And so we'll just kind of throw this out and we'll make it a good time.
Okay.
All right. So, starting, when did you start here?
October 10th of 2016.
So that's 2 years after Wilshire opened.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of a chaotic period for a lot of you guys. You guys know, it opened in what, 2014?
Yeah, very end of 2014.
Right there at the end. The change between 2014 and probably 2017, 18, the turnover, the different stuff that happened was huge. Like the store went through, it was really growing its legs and figuring out what it wanted to be. Gavyn was in there for some of that, and so he has seen a lot of guys come and go. We've settled down quite a bit here lately, but it was, it's, like I said. Okay, so you started in 2016. Where'd you start?
I started as your basic RSO.
Range guy?
Yep.
Okay. And how old were you when you did that?
I had just turned 21. I was 21 for 4 days. I took the SDA class right after my birthday. I think I turned 21 on a Friday or something. Did the SDA on Saturday. And then started working Monday. It's when we were open Mondays from fucking 9 to 10. And we were busy up until 10. Sometimes people wouldn't get out of here until like 10:30. It was
Okay.
good times, but awfully sleepy times.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that was, when I started, that was right at the tail end of when we went from 10 to 9. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, tell me a range story that you will find, like that. Give me the old feel-good memory, right? Range story-wise. I'm putting you on the spot, which
Most
is hard.
of these are not appropriate for public consumption.
You got one that is?
I have a video. An old employee and myself, we were monkeying around on the range, and I had just got a .45 caliber suppressor. I didn't have a host, so we decided to thread it on the FNX 45 Tactical, which is still down there, by the way. And this employee was like, pulls his FNX 45 out. I was like, here, let's just use mine, because it had red dot and stippled, and it was a gorgeous gun. And he pulls an empty gun out of his bag, which was absolutely no use. So how many rounds come in a box of defensive? Well, at this time, it was like 25, right? So loads his mag, puts +1. He's like, well, I don't want to have some loose rounds. So he had 5 loose rounds. So we go out on the range, and he's like, bah, 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 fires them off. And then I'm like, standing behind him, I'm like, well, there should be one more. And he's looking at the gun and just rifles one off, sends one into the ceiling. And you see me just start dying laughing on the camera. Luckily, no one got hurt. Fingers were safe. That was a pretty good one. Everyone makes mistakes, but that one would happen to be pointed in the right direction.
Yeah. So that was definitely, I'm sure a lot of safety officers have stories like that, NDs, different stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny how those kind of things, like, you'll probably remember that story for probably forever.
Yep.
And it's, while obviously a safety violation and not,
It was an accident.
it was an accident, it's still one of those that probably you also take away out of that, of the actual danger of, not
As a
being
teaching
safe.
tool later.
Yeah.
Or we can
sure.
always run it back to that time I John Wayne your baseball challenge.
You did
Mike dropped it away.
Yeah. So when the baseball challenge first came out, I'll kind of tell this story, and I'll let Gavyn tell his part. We came out with the concept of the baseball challenge, and for those who've shot it, you'll know what it is. It's 25 yards, you get 3 shots. If you hit the baseball, you want a prize. Which, standing there, this is one of those like Las Vegas style like gambles. You're like, I can hit a baseball.
It gets really fucking small at 25 yards.
Then you run it out to 25 yards, and that baseball gets real small.
Yeah.
And I was out there shooting at it, and I shot my 3 shots, and Gavyn had just walked out there. He's like, you missed it? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, watch this. And Gavyn pulls like the longest pistol I've ever seen in my life out of his pants. It's a 17L. Was it compensated at that time? It was compensated. So this gun is like... ...7 inches. Just above average.
Just above average.
And proceeds to one-tap this baseball. Stuffs this very long gun back in his pants. And then eyeballs me up and down and just walks off.
Yep.
Which, that's another story involving Gavyn that I didn't even think about. Really set the tone for my employment here. Because I also started as the range guy way back when Gavyn was doing my instruction on how to clean the ranges and everything.
Yep.
We walk out there, I'm sweeping up brass. I'll never forget. He's holding the shovel. I sweep the brass perpendicular to the shovel in a line, like just pushing it up to him.
Yeah.
I look up and Gavyn's just staring at me. He's got kind of this like look on him, he says, really? And from there, like I reshovel, like, being a new guy, this is like day 2. and really set the
There's
tone.
a technique to shoveling the bass. You put it up in a line. One guy stands at the end with the big, the snow shovel, and then you push it up on there. I lined it up, and I was like, "Come on."
Yeah. So that was one I think about that every once in a while. But a lot of things have happened on the range. Then where'd you go? You ended up then you ran off to Japan for a year.
Yeah.
Got a whole bunch of promotions, came back. Then you went to retail, or did you go back? No, you came back to range, right?
Yeah, I was a shift leader, went on the little vacation, came back, picked up retail manager, not too awful long after I came back.
You picked up range manager first.
Yeah, range manager. That's what
You became the range manager as I transferred out into admin stuff, doing Facebook and other nonsense like that. Gavyn picked up the range managing. Got to feel that pain for about a year, right? A little over?
A couple years, yeah.
A couple years. And then lateraled into retail manager and started setting all that up. You got any management stories that... Because, working at a gun store is all fun and games, right? It's just a good time. Running a gun store has its own headaches.
Yeah, I mean, there's always you got any stendos? All of them. There's that bullets dog guy.
It's just...
That's your story. I got blessed. We got pride ourselves on having a bunch of good folks around here. So I got blessed with a bunch of good people. And, man, there's all kinds of stories we could pull from there.
It's hard to just pick one sometimes, which, like I said, I kind of dropped this on him immediately. So coming up with a story off the top of your head, I can do. All right, do it. But like I said, Gavyn has done a lot of things for Wilshire for a very long time, and he is definitely, for sure, one of the reasons that it is what it is, and he's one of the reasons you guys are probably watching right now. And so, like I said, we're extremely proud of him. We're glad he was here. We wanted to wish him all his best, and hopefully you guys don't miss him too much on the podcast. I know the production value will probably go up, but it is what it is. Toby will have to do less work, less photo editing and other stuff to make him look okay.
No more shiny head.
No more shiny head. Turn that gleam knob down. But so that's going to wrap up October. Thank you guys for watching. Obviously, thank you, Gavyn, for being here. We're going to miss you, buddy.